announced last Monday to begin the very next day, up to 100 people to leave or skip Howard Springs to quarantine in the comfort of their own homes, or in this case, their Airbnb.
I've had food dropped off to me. It's nice being able to make your own food, and it kind of feels a little bit more like a holiday, less tight. I prefer it for sure.
Tapped for the trial late last week, Miss Marovich-Tadic snaps a selfie of her whereabouts when required by the Good To Go surveillance app and is subject to strict testing requirements.
You rock up, sit in the car, call the number, and then they tell you to come through. And it was a self-swab.
The government says it's about stress testing the system before full home quarantine starts in about 3 weeks' time. But it's refusing to say how many participants are so far taking part in a pilot that started almost as soon as it was announced.
It's a figure that fluctuates daily. As I said, some people have already been into home quarantine and left. But what we've said is it's important we have this pilot over the coming weeks to test our systems. We've already learnt lessons from that.
The Territory's Australian Medical Association head says a small sample size would affect the lessons the government says it's set out to learn. And the opposition is calling for transparency.
We're trying to test our capability to home quarantine. If we can't get the numbers, how is the Gunner government actually testing the trial?
The program would only apply to areas with a vaccination rate above 80%. But those in the medical union argue that if the plans were to take effect in remote areas, rates should be even higher.
AMCN and the AMA have always argued that really those communities ought to have 95% vaccination rates rather than 80%. So yes, it is an ongoing potential risk that if COVID does get into those communities, it's going to have a massive impact.
The Territory government said the home quarantine trial would expand to Alice Springs this week, but no participants are yet allowed out into Palmerston, which is yet to hit the 80% vaccination rate. 2 weeks out from the deadline for the Territory government's vaccine mandate, views on the ground are still mixed.
No one should be forcing medical procedures on anyone.
All for it, to be honest, yeah. I'm getting mine today, in about an hour.
I think it's fair enough, yeah. You've got to protect the people and protect your families.
I think the vaccine mandates are unconstitutional.
The government says it's sticking with its timelines, with the mandate to take effect November 13 and full home quarantine starting 10 days after that. Isaac Naruzi, ABC News.